Came through dripping, drip, drip. Came through dripping, drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they tripping.
Okay, Drips in the Office, episode 11. The steak dinner is hypothetically confirmed. We'll have to follow up on that. But as always, you've got my good friend Pat Ford on the line. You've got me, your host, Jon and Warren. I just want to say, you're an absolute drip when even in your wildest dreams, you've only been promoted to the assistant to the regional manager, or maybe you dream about being a JV basketball coach and a humanities teacher. I don't know. I mean, teach their own. But I don't even care if someone in your office from the next cubicle over is telling you about that dream they had last night.
Nope.
This will still be the most boring part of your week. Pat, how are we?
John, I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you? And I would just like to say, I don't disagree with that take. If you move right to varsity and you aren't ready, you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting your team and your alma mater, if you went there, / university down. So progression oftentimes is a good thing and should be respected.
That's true. And I can't lie. I think I'm probably pretty realistic, like in my daydreams too. Like I never jump to like the top of the mountain. I'm always like, I have to like pretend that I, worked my way up a little bit. And then that's half the daydream is like getting there. Not the peak.
Yeah, no, not me. Ironically, I generally daydream while I'm in the car, which probably isn't safe, but I'll turn the music up all the way. And most of the time I'm on the Celtics, but no one knows. So like a bunch of people from my work are in like the front row because I like got them tickets and I just run by them in a warm-up uniform and like they're like, what the fuck? And I dominate. Those are my daydreams.
Man, giving out the high fives when you run by.
No,
like, wait a minute.
not even. Like they don't deserve that. I'm in a mood about work, so I'm not even gonna get into it. But yeah, no, those are my dreams. I'm with Mutt. Start slow.
When what's kind of scary about if you're daydreaming in the car? Like I actually thought about this today. I'm driving, I'm in the left lane, I'm thinking about whatever, and I noticed the car in front of me because they had a bunch of bumper stickers on it, so it was kind of fresh in my mind. And then I just noticed I was looking again, and it was a completely different car in front of me. And I thought to myself, like, I don't even know when that lane switch happened. I don't remember where this car went. Was I even looking at the road? Like, I'm driving, I'm going, 80, and I have no idea what's happening in front of me. So I guess
it happens to me from time to time. Like you're in dead stop traffic. Next thing you know, you're going 70 and like Kelly Clarkson's on and you're just kind of jamming out.
Yeah, like, what's just happened there? Yeah.
Kelly's good too.
All right, I got a question for you. Something that I think maybe a lot of people might have. They might have the same question, but parking meters. Okay, so this should be right up your alley.
Go ahead.
I notice a lot of places, or maybe all, so a typical parking meter, whether it be an old school one or a new one, a lot of times it'll be weekdays, maybe a Saturday, and Saturday sometimes is like a shorter time frame, but then free on Sunday. My question is it being free on Sunday, is that a law thing, or is that just, hey, we're being nice? What's going on there?
Very good question. There are certain municipalities, not many around here that I don't think, that mandate free on Sundays. I'll fact check it. But a lot of it comes down to, if you go to just a town right now that has no parking enforcement, no meters whatsoever, when you try to basically pitch the town on monetizing parking, it's kind of a tiered approach, because obviously the people who live in the town who are parking there continuously over and over are used to not paying for parking. So when you implement parks equipment, PARCS equipment, spelled differently, I'm going to sneeze that freaking creatine. Oh,
that means it's working.
Yeah, it feels good. But it's kind of like it's a balancing act. So you basically tell the townspeople, most of the resolution is Sunday free. Like, listen, we're putting in parking meters, we're monetizing it. You're not going to really use these Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday. Usually, if you do, we offer a permit. Most towns offer a permit for residents, which is probably like $10-$20 for the whole season. So it's worth it. But it's kind of like a healthy balance of like Sundays are free. We're not going to fight that battle and try to charge you up the ass. But there are certain municipalities and cities and townships that will do it, and those are my favorite.
Yeah. So it's mostly just to keep people from bitching. Is that what it comes down to?
Yeah,
Like, well, we'll throw the peasants a free day. Give them a Sunday.
Yeah, tell them to enjoy their Sunday. It's a Lord's Day too. God bless.
Sabbath.
But no, a lot of the times it's just like kind of a balancing act. Just bite the bullet. Don't fight the fight. You don't want to get up to town hall and have a lane from 54th Street up there yapping at you because you're charging her a shiny nickel on Sunday when she's trying to go praise the Lord. That's not what you need. So it's a balancing act. There are a couple areas I can't remember off the top of my head where it is mandated free parking on Sundays. I don't know how that ties in. It could be, I don't know if it's a law or just a local legislation, but that's why we take follow-up notes, and I'll follow up on that.
I have another question for you. So I'm actually just thinking about this now. So my town, the beautiful town and the oceanfront, wonderful, greatest town in America town of Warren, Rhode Island, we don't have parking meters on the streets or anything like that. Sure. So how would it work? Would someone come in, like a company like yourself, and propose that to the town, or does that have to start from the town? Like if they said, all right, we're under budget, we need to find a way to bring more revenue into the town, we're going to set that up.
It's both. Most of the time it's actually guys like me putting on a suit, looking sharp, but like I'll come forward with a full-blown plan of like, these are your most foot traffic or most traveled locations. These are where you could really, you start in a tiered approach. We'll start with this street and see how it goes. It's going to bring you X amount of revenue. It's going to cost you X. And a lot of times too, it's like part of our pitch, and we'll build it into our agreement, is like, we want to be a good partner throughout the dexterity of this process. We'll come in, we'll put the machines in at our cost. You guys just keep revenue, so you see money right away, and then we get in a long-term agreement where hopefully it pays back over X amount of years. But no, but you're starting to see more and more like Newport, for example, kind of right down the street from you, like done a really good job there. It's everybody's on board with it. It actually helps the town, like from a traffic perspective, because there's not people fighting over meters. There, it's a paid meter. Some people are just going to go find a lot. It helps traffic flow a lot. People don't necessarily realize that. So there are more towns who are noticing this preemptively. They'll attend the conferences with us. And they will then, reach out to us and say, hey, what's this look like? Am I going to be able to make money on this? Does it make sense? Am I going to piss people off? And then it'll have to go up for vote through the town or through legislation or whatever it is. And, they usually bring me along to those votes with the suit. It usually sways them over right there.
Who does the research as far as foot traffic or traffic in general, like high traffic areas for the parking? Is that a separate division, or do you have to do that too? We
will work with like some towns have tracking measures of traffic, whether it be lights, but sometimes they're not willing to provide that information. So then we'll have to, I will take a week and I will sit on X Street and just count cars for certain hours and see how many are parking in there. See how many parking there, see how many cars are flowing through that
flicker or something.
Yeah. I wore the last one out. I actually broke it. I was mid-click and it just fucking exploded in my hand.
Oh wow, that thumb was working.
Yeah, but a lot of times they have those mechanisms in place where they can kind of give you those stats, and like a lot of times they'll sign off on it right then and there. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Do you guys, now that we're getting into the summer months, do you guys do any like seasonal parking, like for beaches or anything like that, or that's not really your game?
Do we ever?
Yeah. Oh wow. All right.
Yeah. I won't say which beaches. Okay. I won't say it. I don't like to divulge all information on this, but you reach out to me if you are going to be going to any beaches in the state of Rhode Island.
Wow.
Or maybe if you are going to go visit my friend Daver.
Okay, that's a hint. I will say this, I won't give too much away. Just on that point, I may or may not have contacted you about a place I went recently. You may or may not have been a gigantic help. And all I'll say to the people, again, without giving too much away, is Pat Ford's name holds weight. It holds weight.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
I was shitting bricks. I was like, if one of these fucking idiot valets don't know who that is, I would have, that would have been so embarrassing. What a bad look. What a bad look. But
it all worked out. You seem so cool from afar, believe me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will clip that. Clip that, certainly. Wow, this is starting off exciting for me. These are some of my favorite topics, especially rolling into the summer season. Um, let me spit one back at you, okay?
All right. Yep.
Somebody threw this out there. Oh, actually, um, an announcement to the fantasy baseball group chat. I believe it was Shank. I was not hacked. So I'm 0-6. I sent a group message saying that my Yahoo account was hacked and I've had no control of my team for the past 6 weeks. And our good friend Shank said that would be a great topic to talk about on Drips in the Office. I think he believed it. I underestimated how difficult fantasy baseball is. What a disaster. But I'm in another league with Harmon.
Absolute grind.
Yeah. I'm in last place of 18. And in the other league, I'm in second place of 14. So I'm right in the middle if you average them out. But my fake password story. How often does your work mandate that you change your password?
A lot. We're 60 days, 90 days. And I'll do the thing where like I'll find ways to get the information I need without even logging in sometimes. Like if it's going to be that much of a hassle, the problem is I'll do that. Like it'll say, oh, it's been 60 days, reset your password. I won't do it. Then finally I need to get into this portal or whatever. And now it's like, well, you've been locked out. You need to go to your administrator. And then I'm like, fuck.
I saved like hundreds of people in my company a lot of headache because I didn't change my password within that 60-day period that they require. So my account was locked. We moved to this new system where you're sending an IT ticket. You don't call the help desk anymore. You just send a ticket through Office 365.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm following.
My account was locked, and I reached out to somebody in my company. I said, how do I get this unlocked? They're like, oh, just reach out to, I won't say the name of the company we work with, but they're like, oh, just reach out to them. They'll unlock it. I'm like, okay. I don't have access to that because my Office 365 is locked. And they're like, I don't know what you're saying.
The old double lock.
No one understood.
Like no. I can't unlock something that I can't get into.
Correct. It took me like 2 hours of trying to find someone who was like, oh, I'll call this guy. Like they knew one of the guys in the IT's phone number. Thank God. But I understand the password change rule all the time. But sure. I mean, I fucking add an extra exclamation mark to my password every time. I'm up to 16 exclamation marks in my password. When I log into my email. Now, granted, it's autosave, but Jesus, it's an absolute nightmare. And now, do you guys have when you sign into your email and you hit sign in, what happens next?
Something pops up and it says I need to type in either a password or a PIN. It's like a second tier identification or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay. So after you type in your password.
Yeah, like I log in. Actually, I type in my password and then it makes me do a PIN. All I know, or something like that. All I know is I have to do 2 forms of identification.
We have to go to the fucking, like we have a separate app now called the Microsoft Authenticator.
Oh, I had to get that too. Yep.
So you have that too.
Yes.
Disaster. Like I almost gave my notice the other day.
Dude, it tries to lock things in that aren't even your password. Have you noticed that?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Like one of the best features is like when I sign up for something and like we sent the code to your phone. And then when I go to hit the first letter of the code, it automatically populates on the button. Like that gets me out of bed in the morning. This fucking Authenticator app is a disaster. Like all of a sudden, if you close out of it, the number changes and then it won't work to get into the email. It has to be the perfect storm. And I mean, I think frustrating is an understatement.
So this is what my Authenticator was doing. It ties into what you were just talking about. So you've got to, like you said, we've sent you a text and a PIN number comes up. When the PIN number came up, my Authenticator was trying to say, do you want to save this as your password? Not my password, but the stupid one-time PIN. So by accident, I would like hit save. So then when I go to sign in, the Authenticator had the PIN saved as my password. It was an absolute disaster.
I would love right now if like just computers went away. It's like, just write everything down or like the original Mac where it was just like Excel and Word. Just type it in, save it, print it. That's it. None of this fancy mumbo jumbo. I unsubscribed from like over 60 emails this morning because I let all my spam emails pile up over the weekend.
That's what I do too.
And I put a half an hour and I just unsubscribed from all of them today.
Feels so good, dude.
Awesome.
Do you hold shift and the down arrow? If you hold shift and press the down arrow, you can highlight as many as you want, and then you press delete once and they all go away.
Hold on.
It's fantastic. It's very freeing when they all go away.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's awesome.
How have I not been living like this?
I don't know. Well, how about this? I think me and you talked about this, unless it was with someone else, but I suck at typing. I'm still kind of like a couple, like poking fingers somehow. I just never learned. So funny you bring up the whole password thing. There's this one portal I haven't been able to get in for a while. I finally work up the courage because I was kind of embarrassed to email IT. They get back to me. They're like, hey, here's your new password. I fumble it. I fuck it up. It kicks me out again.
You didn't say the magic word.
So a week goes by because, again, I was embarrassed. Finally worked up the courage again today. Hey, let me apologize ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
Can you please reset the password again? New guy, too. I've never even seen this guy, but I heard he sits like down the hall. So he sends me a new password. Of course, it doesn't work. So I get out of my chair. I walk down to this guy's cubicle and I introduced myself and I was like, listen, man, you just sent me that password. I can't get in, dude.
Please! God damn it!
I just can't do it. So then he goes, why don't you type the password in on my computer? So now the IT guy, who I'm sure is like the fastest typer you've ever seen in your life,
I hate this hacker crap.
is watching me over my shoulder. And I'm going, dude.
You're a finger typer?
Like I can mask it. Like I finger it as the kids say.
Hey,
but
rock on, brother.
So I'm kind of fingering it, but I'm moving my hands around. So like, look at this. It looks like I'm doing it, doesn't it? But I'm literally I'm poking, but I'm moving my other hands around.
I see the strength in the fingers while the others just kind of dance. Yeah. Interesting.
It's a
you
strategy.
never took like typing class or anything?
I did. I'm not as bad as I'm letting on right now, but I'm pretty bad, especially when like the IT guys like when anyone's over my shoulder, I forget how to type. I just can't do it. Yeah,
probably judgmental too. Nothing against the guy, but it's what he does for a living. It's like,
I know.
Geez. Are you a talk to text guy?
No. When I'm driving, but I'm not calling in.
I always fuck it up and say something I shouldn't. I feel like our friend Sig does that every once in a while. Just send something that's pure mumbo jumbo and talk to text. Shout out Sig.
Oh, since parking is sort of a tipping culture world. I've got some tipping questions for you, and I actually need a sincere answer here.
Okay.
Two of them come to mind. If you have any other ones, shoot them out my way. If you have been wondering, but
okay.
So last episode, I had mentioned how I had some guys coming to help edge and do the mulch in the lawn, right? So they pushed. Well, that's a whole nother thing. They pushed it from Tuesday to Friday. Blah blah blah. So the two guys that came to do the actual work are not the guy. Neither of them own the actual business, and they're not the ones that I'm communicating with. Correct. The guy I communicate with, he's come before. Sometimes he sends people, but he tells me the price and he sends me the invoice, and he likes when I pay him via Cash App. No problem.
Sketchy.
Yeah, but my question is, do you pay the guys do you tip the guys that were actually in your yard working?
Great question. And this is something I hope I could shed a little bit of light on for you, just growing up in a family of scapers.
True.
If the guy, like my dad, if the guy that owns the business is the one who's there physically doing the labor, and he has a team with him, generally a small team, like if you have the guy who owns it and another guy, then rule of thumb is you should be paying cash if you can. And you should be tipping, because at that point you're dealing with a real scummy landscaper if he's not tipping his buddy who's helping. He's not giving him a little bit of a cut. But in your instance, where you are paying the guy who is basically just sitting in the office kicking his feet up, and his guys are out there, I would not tip, because 9 times out of 10, if it's going through Cash App, he's not going to then withdraw money and add it to their paycheck. And there's no way of taking from Cash App and dumping it directly into ADP if he's paying them properly. So 9 times out of 10, that's just going right in his pocket. And we're anti-man here. We're against the man, and no way. Yeah, but if the guy is there, like if they're there working and like you know that the guy who owns the company is involved, then I would definitely say tip because he's a real scumbag if he's not throwing some cash to his buddy.
Well, so that I was like asking myself, well, how do I know he didn't already tack on a little extra for the guys? Like when he's like, oh, send me whatever, $400. Did he already tell himself he was going to give them? It's tough. But here's what I did. And I actually hate tipping when I don't know if it's enough or not, because if it's less, you feel like an asshole. I happen to have, I don't even want to say the number. I had $30 in my pocket. All right.
Damn it. I thought it was 20.
And when they were leaving, I was like, hey, so, whatever his name is, Chris is going to send me the invoice. And they're like, yeah, he'll send it to you. They're like, you're all set. And I just took $30 out of it. And I was like, here, this is for you guys. But like, I don't know, $15.
Oh, that was for the guys working?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a great move. That's a classy move, and you should be very proud of that because the guys doing the work got the tip.
Even though it was only $30,
huh?
Even though it's only $30, you think that plays?
I think you're probably in the minority of people that do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Now, what you should be doing is you should be asking the guy from Cash App for an itemized invoice.
Yes, which he has sent me in the past. So
okay.
And I don't even know if Cash App does business ones, but it's like a business thing. It's not like his name.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad you brought this up because I have gone as far as pretty much every time I go somewhere new, I ask, like, am I doing something wrong or right? Takeout.
Okay. Yes, that was one of my, I don't know. Ever since COVID, I don't know.
Trust me, I'm buckle up. I'm with you. The girls or the guys, 2024, or the
theys.
I shouldn't have even gone that route. It's only trouble.
No, yeah.
But they get that. Like the people working the counter, they get that money.
Nobody makes a better coffee than a they, though. I'll stand by that.
Risky, brother. Risky. But true. When they
proceed.
When you see that bull ring and like a Buzz haircut, you know
that thing is coming out just so good. Yeah.
Do you tip for one on takeout? Because the people who are at the takeout window, from what my wife told me, she used to be a waitress going up, they get that money.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard at certain restaurants, they're like, no, it all goes back into the main tip pool. Like, for one, if you are working there, if you're putting the orders together, getting it ready, taking it, sure, I have no problem tipping you. But if I got $50 worth of takeout, am I tipping $10? Get it to 12? It doesn't seem like that much work.
No, especially if they're the guys in the back are like bagging it. Like they take it from the kitchen to a box to a bag, and then it's just sitting on a desk behind the kiosk thing, and that's it. But
if you're perfect for it. You're like me. Next time you do it, I ask. I'm like, hey, listen, like I put a tip in here. Like, is this normal? Like, am I tipping not enough? Like, what's the normal? I've had people say like, no, it's usually like 20%.
Really?
Which is crazy. But I've had other people like, no one really tips, so we appreciate it.
So I usually, whenever I'm doing takeout, though, I never have cash because takeout, it's like usually you're just like sitting at home. It's not like you planned to like have cash on you, whatever. When they do the iPad or something, I'll click.
I never hit no tip.
But it's the lowest amount I'll ever do, though. Like if I'm at a restaurant and I'm being waited on, I over tip. But for takeout, I just go whatever the lowest one is because I don't even know if I'm supposed to be tipping to begin with.
Correct. But what if you are? What if you're supposed to be doing the 20% and you're hitting the 5%? These are the things that are frustrating. And then what was the other one I had too?
Oh, I got one for you. It might be the same one.
Say it at the same time. We'll do it. Once I say one, I'll say it. We'll say it. 3, 2, 1. Tipping a
grocery delivery. All right. No, I've never done it. I've been told I'm a scumbag for not doing it at Dunkin' Donuts.
Listen, if you had go back 6 months, right? You go to Dunkin' Donuts, you pay with your card, boop, tap, go.
Yep.
The place I go to now, I shit you not, they broke the fucking credit card machine, so it comes off the wall, and they stick it out the window. They have you insert your card, and there's a tipping option there.
Yeah.
Which, listen, I have no problem with. Like the theys making my coffee, they deserve a few extra bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like
they do. Yeah,
they do. But it's crazy. Like it's so uncomfortable.
You know what I wouldn't mind is like for the takeout, throw me like a little 15% option.
Yeah, but I just want someone. I want like an industry standard.
To break it down. Yeah.
The industry standard is 20% for sit-down restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
That's your baseline.
Yes.
What is takeout? I'm gonna Google it. I don't know.
That's a great question, and someone should bring that to the forefront. You may have just done that.
I'm gonna
We
tweet
know
it out.
Drips is a gigantic show, so I'm sure this will take the nation by storm.
Yeah, probably will.
So what about
Groceries?
Yeah, dude. What are we thinking?
Now, what are we talking here? Are we talking? I pull into Stop and Shop and open my trunk.
No, I'm talking someone brings it right to your front steps.
So I've tried to tip there, and they don't allow it. They're like, I'll get fired.
All right,
Whoever-
I've tried it in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I went to like a Walmart, and he was loading. It was like a kid loading up my car, and I tried to give him money. He's like, I can't take it.
Whoever made that rule, Walmart, Stop and Shop, Target. If you're listening, fuck you. That's
It's
crazy.
fucked up.
These people make like $14, $15 an hour, working harder than most of us probably. Like the people at Dunkin' Donuts and fucking McDonald's, that line never stops. They literally don't, even if it's not crazy work, they never stop moving. That's why I always drop business cards when somebody has good personality. Got a couple hires from Dunkin'.
Really, that's not a bad idea.
But you're talking like, what is it called? I talked about this with Mike too. Fuck.
I don't even know. We just do it through like Target or Walmart or whatever.
Well,
By we, I mean my wife.
We did the grocery. We got like a free year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you always tip, and yes, I think you always tip 20%.
Yeah, see, I have. Well, normally this is why I felt like an asshole and why I was compelled to bring this up. Normally, I'm not around or we're not like home or whatever when they drop it off. Not only was I home, but I was in my driveway pushing one of my kids in like a little bike. And the guy, and this is going to roll into another one of my topics, but the guy backs into the driveway. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to just put it on the front steps?" I said, "Yep." So he's loading it, and I'm there. I can't say I didn't see him, but I still didn't take any money out. And he kind of like walked by me. He was like, "Oh, beautiful weather." Said, yeah, beautiful weather. And then he drove off. Go
ahead. Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I actually thought he was someone coming by to pick up something that my wife put on Facebook Marketplace that I had sitting out at the end of the driveway. So that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother topic that we will get to right after this, because I also like that one. This might go on for 2 hours today with the list that we sent to one another. But
we still have some great stuff to get to.
Some really good stuff. Mick is back.
Yeah.
Now you're talking like Target delivery to your house. Do they have a tipping option when you check out?
Oh,
so that's how we do it. And
if they do, I feel so much better.
Yes, I don't, but I don't think like the Targets in them do. Also, you're crazy for getting delivery from Target and shit.
What?
Are you kidding me? Like, oh yeah, I got it. I'll go pick it up. Fucking throw the phone in the car, put on Kirk. Take a nice 10-minute drive there, 10-minute drive back, unload it, 10 minutes, half an hour's gone.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
I don't believe in DoorDash because I go pick it up. That's why I know this delivery thing so much. I have a pregnant wife, so we're getting delivery all the time. So it's right.
Well, that's my takeout move, though. Like, I'll always, and I don't know if I've brought this up on the show before, and I do, by the way, I say that every show because I have a terrible memory, but I always want to go pick it up. Because I'll act like I called already, but I didn't. I go there, I order it while I'm there, and then I drink 2 beers. And then I'm like, oh, the place was a madhouse. It's a whole operation. Blah, blah, blah. She's starting to figure me out, though. But we had a good run.
I was just going to tell that story. And I identify as an alcoholic, so watch yourself, John.
Yeah,
a guy I used to work with, like one day, he's like, "You want to know?" He lived right in my neighborhood. he was my boss too. I said, "You want to know a little trick?" He's like, "Whatever you guys order from that takeout place." I was like, "Yeah, all the time." He's like, "What you need to do is you need to fake the phone call." And be like, "Oh, I'm just going to go walk and get it," because it was less than a half a mile away. Mm-hmm. He's like, "I go to the bar and I order and I drink anywhere from 6 to 9 beers before that comes out."
I haven't gotten to that level yet.
Well, I was like, whoa. I was like, "You're a mess." And then I did it one day and whoa, boy. So now I have water, which is great. But, wow, it's funny. Yeah, you have tendencies. Be careful.
There's a certain thrill to it too, because it's like, A, I didn't really call. B, how many can I fit in before it gets super obvious.
And you can like, if there's somebody who's a good conversation next to you at the bar, you could tell them what you did, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's fucking
It
cool."
plays every single time.
Yeah, wife doesn't know I'm here. Like, whoa. Some people are like, "You're a fucking lunatic," but yeah, I only did that once. That's when I was like, "Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot." But yeah, one or two.
We did something similar, not as bad, obviously, but as far as, so obviously we just had Mother's Day. It was yesterday.
Shout out.
So when she woke up in the morning, she had mentioned how she wanted to get a coffee and she thought she was going to go take a ride out, whatever. And I took that opportunity to say, no, let me go get the coffee for you. It's Mother's Day after all.
Boom.
Both the kids they're actually sleeping in for once.
What time was it?
It was, well, one of them woke up at 5, and then since it was Mother's Day, I got him, and we went hard, and he actually fell asleep by like 7:30. So he woke up and then went back to sleep before my wife even got up. So she got extra time. It was,
And then he probably didn't nap, right?
no, I'm
Like
saying
during the day.
Oh, like way later. Yeah. Normal,
Uh,
like, so his first nap was then at like 7:30 in the morning, and then later at like 3:00. Normally it's
that's
9
brutal.
and like 1. But I had gotten like a necklace with the kids' birthstones on it. She wanted something with the birthstones on it. So that was already taken care of, but it was in the mailbox. So I was like, all right, this gives me an opportunity to get outside, get it from the mailbox. Also, when I go get her coffee, I can get the flowers. So it all kind of worked together because I hadn't gotten the flowers before. So when I came home, not only was I holding the coffee, I was holding a necklace and a bouquet of flowers. So it all worked out, all by me just saying, oh, no, I'll go grab the coffee. So it worked out.
That's big brain energy right there. I did the same thing. I took my kid, he was awake. I just tossed him in the car. I was like, you enjoy the hour, we'll go get breakfast. Which we did. It was lovely, but I crushed the Mother's Day present.
I saw a sneak preview of it. You really did.
Crushed it. I hyperimposed a picture of her grandfather who passed away with my son together because they never met. Oh, I can do whatever I want forever. No, I can't. I have to be careful still. But no, good Mother's Day. We went to brunch.
My wife went to brunch with my mom and her mom and her grandmother.
Oh, you didn't know?
I stayed behind. I had the kids, played with the neighborhood kids.
That's a dream.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Thomas, my oldest, found out that the kid next door has a John Deere tractor. So pulling him out of the neighbor's yard at the end of the day was tough.
That was a challenge. I could see that. All right, let's see what we have for topics here. I want to stay on track because we're sure on time, but
let it rip.
We're grooving. This is good. We're grooving. We're moving and grooving. Yeah, Mother's Day went swimmingly. And we didn't nap on Mother's Day either. So bedtime was like 7:30. Home run day. All right. I have something I wanted to talk. How are your allergies?
They've been brutal in the morning, so I'm back to taking a Zyrtec first thing in the morning. How about you?
So bad. So bad. I got the CVS brand Zyrtec because I get 10% off CVS brand stuff.
Yeah, brand loyalty again.
I got when you pay $5. Listen to this deal. For those that don't know, you sign up for the CVS Extra Care Pass. You pay $5 a month. You get 10% off all CVS brand items, and once a month you get a $10 voucher to CVS. I
have to get on this stuff. I'm so behind, and I think it was Danny and Bill Ricca who brought it up on the main show about how I have no brand loyalty when it comes to hotels. As soon as he said it, I did. He was right. I wanted to address that and make a statement, but I have no rebuttal. So I want to be a Marriott. I've decided I want to be a Marriott guy. So I've looked inward, and
Marriott guy moving forward.
Yeah. You had sent me a list. You had potty training on there, which I'd like to get into because we're going through it right now.
We have really, really good days. Like we're given stickers, we're given dinosaurs, we're celebrating like it's 19. What's this? I don't know what the saying is, but partying like it's 1995. I don't think that's it either. But we're going all out. We had the best freaking day. So three peas in the potty, no accidents. Boom, boom, boom. The next day, we're sprinkling all over the damn joint. This is going to be a fucking battle, John. An absolute
Is he
battle.
still wearing diapers regularly?
Yeah.
Or are those gone? Okay, yeah. So is Thomas. Now, when you do the stickers, do the stickers amount to something? Like, do you get X amount of stickers that equals a toy, or are they just stickers just to have a sticker?
That's a great call. That's a great call, and it's not. We have 2 iterations of sticker. One sticker is just Bluey. Everybody loves Bluey. So
Sure. We were
you go
just
pee,
watching
you
it
get a
before I came down here.
That's good. It's a really good tune. Really good show. Second sticker, you actually put inside of the toilet, and when you urinate on it, it turns into a dinosaur.
Okay, I got to get those. He's big into dinosaurs right now. That'll be huge.
We're in a big dino kick right now. Have you? This was a low moment. Have you showed him how to use the potty? Yes, it's so strange.
In a roundabout way, yeah. And I think over the years he's stumbled upon how it works.
I was so frustrated.
There's a lot of lack of privacy when you have toddlers. For those people,
Correct.
who don't have kids,
I was so frustrated the other day that he wouldn't do it. So I just peed in the kids' potty.
Oh, there you go.
Standing up. It's not an easy target. It's very small. So I peed on the floor. But like it didn't work. And I urinated into a children's toilet, and I felt like I don't think that's normal. Like he didn't see. I covered my stuff because I'm a man of class and integrity. I closed the blinds, but yeah, that was a low moment, especially since it didn't work.
You just reminded me of. I can't even believe I'm going to tell the story.
Hell yeah! You shit in the toilet.
When we were young, this kid had a sleepover. We were in like, I don't know how old, maybe later in the elementary school year, whenever you can start having sleepovers, I guess, really. Okay. So bunch of the guys from class, this is so fucking bad. But the kid whose house we were sleeping over had a younger sister. And she, in potty training age, and she may or may not have special needs.
Okay.
The toilet was in the bathroom or whatever. One of the kids pissed in it and just left it there during the sleepover. The morning comes, one of the parents sees the kid's body with like piss filled in it, and they're going like one by one, like, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you? I can't even remember who did it now that I like look back, but I remember being like, just like, I can't believe this kid fucking pissed in his little sister's body, and the parents are like calling us out about it.
Well, we just lost Coleman. Once you said that, when he heard about the daughter having special needs, he turned it off.
Oh, what do you mean? He turned the volume up louder. He's like, "Oh, we're shitting in."
Yeah, pooping in pot, pooping it. Yeah. Once when I was drunk, I peed in my friend's closet because I thought it was a urinal and I was asleep.
That's a classic. I feel like that's a common one.
Yeah, I feel like it's relatively normal. But I was thinking back.
I've never done it, but
yeah, probably good for you. You're in a better state than I. Now, what if like all of a sudden me peeing in the potty triggered him to like want to go pee in the potty? Like that worked, right?
I could see it working.
Peeing's one thing. Once it comes to the shitting, that's going to be a whole nother mess. Literally,
if you shit in it, he may never shit again.
Yeah, that's probably true.
He would take one look at that and be like, that's not something I'm. Or I don't know, who knows?
Kids are weird. Maybe he'd be like, "Oh, my dad's a man. He just took a dump in that thing." Who knows?
Yeah, could be. I was gonna make like a peanut in the shit joke, but that wouldn't be your shit, would it? No. Then you're gonna be like, "Why is the mailman taking shits in my son's potty?
Why is the mailman in my house?" Better question.
And why does he look just like my son?
You tipped the mailman, right?
Yes, I'm very good about tipping the mailman and the trash guys.
Yep. I threw him $100 last year. I felt like a fucking boss.
Nice. I've put a 6-pack of beer on top of the trash around Christmas time with an envelope with a tip.
Classy.
I don't know if I've told this story before, but I've done that. As a summer job throughout high school, and then I think my freshman year of college.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I would ride on the back. I did recycling, and then I did lawn bags, so like the refuge bags.
Yep.
You fill with leaves or grass or whatever. That was the best job. Recycling fucking sucks because it could get really, really heavy. It's stinky if it rains. And the route, because like lawn bags, not everyone's got lawn bags out.
Yes.
Recycling every single house, so it's a long ass day. But I specifically remember they would leave every once in a while. You get a house that would leave like Gatorades or beer or something. So I've tried to, utilize that in my own life.
Pay it forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would love to be a trash man in like New York City because it's all bags. And like, you ever see those guys? Like, they just pick it up, fucking fling it.
And I had friends that worked for the DPW with me. And so we would both be on the back of the truck. So like, if it's a light lawn bag, you toss it to your buddy, he alley-oops it in. Like, it's
Volleyballs it.
Yeah. Actually, if I can find it, I have a video of my buddy on the back of I'm with him filming him, and it's pouring rain, and we're holding on to the back of the trash truck. I'll see if I can get it, and maybe we can put it on.
Hell yeah.
Right now as I'm talking about it. I got to get here, and I know we should probably start getting into the KMS stuff, but I had a question for you. Now that I'm going into sales, I should tell you my joke from the sales meeting too.
Oh yeah, do that. You crushed.
Real quick, when you're out and about, are you full-time just doing stuff on your phone, or are you carrying like a binder? And second question to that, are you a backpack or like a satchel guy? What are we doing?
These are such good questions. I started off as a satchel guy. If you have a nice leather satchel and you're wearing a dress shirt and dress clothes, then I rock the satchel all day. But if it's not up to code and you're also doing like casual Fridays, satchel just looks a little bit extra if you're just wearing kind of like a polo or something. So I've moved to a professional backpack, nice backpack.
What would you consider a professional backpack?
One that has a phone charger coming out of the side of it, as well as a shoe pocket for travel. That's what when I fly, I put shoes in there so I can change shoes, and multiple compartments for storage, pencils, pens, etc.
Is it also leather?
No.
So it's regular backpack material.
Leather's more style. Leather's great, but it doesn't always have the storage capabilities that a standard boss man backpack would have, as I call it. So I'll send you a link for the backpack. But secondly, I don't have either of those things. I have a remarkable tablet. You know what that is?
I thought you were just describing it.
No, sorry, Bob. It's literally just like a tablet that it's electronic, and you have a stencil pen that you write on it, and you can export it to your computer. So I could take notes, and then I could kick them all over my computer in Word.
I need that. I think I need an iPad in general, because a lot of the stuff we do, there's like forms and signatures and stuff like that. So I feel like pulling up a PDF and just having the whatever it's called.
It's a good look too.
What's the pen thing that works on an iPad?
Stylus pen.
Stylus pen. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we had a big like sales meeting kickoff. Very classy, Pat, at the Holiday Inn conference room.
Ooh, Express.
Yes.
Good.
Look, here's what I'll say: good finger food for the intermissions.
Ooh.
Coffee, the chocolate chip cookies. The chocolate was still melting and gooey. Fantastic.
Golly.
So the only context you need is that mostly everyone in this room, there must have been like, I don't know, 50 or 60 people, knew that I was the newest sales rep on the team. So at one point, they're kind of going around the room, they're talking, and one of the senior guys, he says, you can't be a sales rep if you don't smell blood in the water. And all of a sudden, kind of everyone, they looked at me because it was almost like directed at me. So the whole room kind of like looked at me. And it wasn't, I could have let it go and then things would have moved. And I took the one instance that I had, or the moment that I had, and I stood up and I was like, I smell blood in the water, 2 clicks due east right now. And the whole place erupted. I was flying high. I don't know what happened the rest of the meeting after that. I blacked out. I had people coming up to me after, like shaking my hand, be like, dude, you're going to kill it out there.
What a start.
Oh, that was huge.
That crushed. There's nothing better than crushing in front of a crowd on a hot joke, too. So I'm happy for you.
Oh, yeah. 2 click due east. Like I was itching to use that somewhere.
See you later, boss. That guy's he's in. He's one of the cool guys now.
What do you want to get to KMS wise? We're at the 45-minute mark, but there's definitely some stuff I want to get to. I mean, I'm a I'm a hashtag Gilboy. It remains to be seen. He's probably going to do something dumb, and I'm going to hate him, and everyone's going to turn on him. But we'll get there, Pat. Let me enjoy being a Gilboy for at least one episode.
So, I'm a Gilboy. Let's just throw it out there. I'm a Gilboy. There's no getting around. I thought he did great.
Me too.
Now, as you know, I'm a re-listener multiple times. Obviously, there's no show today, so I needed to listen to the Blind Mike Project, which was fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, you should. I think I'm going to divert to the Blind Mike Project, because this is one topic I'd like to start incorporating in here. Hack Ride is no Craig, I'll tell you that. I'm a Hack Ride guy. He's really helped grow that YouTube channel. But my God, Hack Ride, if you are listening to this by any chance, it is not the Hack Ride the Demon channel project.
Wow.
Okay? That's what it turned into. He had his little sidekick in there, Electrify, singing songs to transition from clip to clip. At the end, Mike almost just ended the show because he was like, we can't do this. We can't. So
did Mike actually say that?
Yeah. He's like, you got to stop. Like, this is nuts. He's like, whoa, blah, blah, blah. I like Hack Ride, don't get me wrong, but I'm a Craigophile. And like, good news, he'll be back next week. He beat the Chargers. So like, everything's good on that side of the coin. That's
big. This bit I've been doing with my wife, an original bit is when we're in the car, I just throw on Craig's podcast every once in a while. She loves it. I love it. It makes me laugh.
That's great.
If anyone else out there, maybe a producer for the Kirk Show, if you want to steal that bit, it's all yours.
It's all yours. No copyright infringement needed. One thing I'll note while we're going back to the Gilboy topic. I like Gilroy. I think Gilroy does not like Kirk deep down.
You said this somewhere. So go ahead. Expand on that point.
There were multiple occasions where he brought up griefs that he had with Kirk. And yes, he said them in a jokey tone. That's fine. But he kept going back to them. Mm-hmm. He kept returning to it. He said, you were the meanest guy there, when obviously it was Curtis, that pedo. Like, he kept returning to these things. And one that I noticed that stood out, and I'm probably looking too deeply into this.
Talk to me.
When he said, like, oh, I was running that 5K, or I wanted to run a marathon to be on the show. And then Kirk said, he was like, I was the one who had final say, who was on my show. And then Gilroy goes, oh, so you were the one that said I could be on when, I was on? Like, when you were the one who gave me the green light to come on?
When they were doing, like, the rotating.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, that's me. He's like, oh, well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I almost felt like he was like, oh, that was you? Great. It stuck with me a little bit.
Now, so because I'm a Gilboy, I'll try to be a Gilboy.
Sure, talk me off the ledge.
I think if you're going into the show and you're going into the show and you have time to prepare, you could just say, like, or what are the relevant things in my past that I've interacted with Kirk about, and I'm going to hit all these points while I'm in there.
Fair. That's
all I'm saying.
Listen, I want to be a Gilboy. I'm a huge Cat and Pat fan. Or Cat.
You love that show.
That's the craziest fucking show of all time. I tuned in once. I'm like, oh, they're probably just having an episode where they're going in on their exes. That's the whole fucking premise.
Every time. So that's the thing. I skipped around. So I told you I listened to the first 2 episodes, but then I jumped 4 episodes later and I turned it on. I was like, oh, they're doing this again. They're just going hard at the ex-wife.
Going in. And they're like, and we had to watch the fucking kids. Like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, they're your children. One thing, I unsubscribed from that fucking email earlier today.
Got a hold shift. Can we get into the lollipop sales?
Yes, we can.
If I wasn't a father of 2, if I was just like a single dude out in the wild, I would take that job in a fucking heartbeat, dude. Run around to Istanbul selling lollipops? Sign me up.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
There is definitely a catch.
Especially I am a Gilboy too. I got to cut this out. But $80K, just fresh off the lot. Like, yeah, here's 80. Go plus sell some pops.
Yeah, and there's no commission. He was like, no, this is a salary. It's not commission.
But then there was commission.
Well, didn't you basically say the bonuses were almost guaranteed? So like maybe
what are we doing here?
The KPIs are low or something, or the goals are low. I don't know.
Everybody makes $150 selling pops. listen, I hope it's true, and I hope my man Mutt takes him up on it because he'd be the best lollipop salesman in the
There
greater
probably
Boston
is a shady aspect to this. Maybe someone should do a deep dive.
area. Has anyone had one of the lollipops?
I saw it being discussed because someone was like, "Oh, did you know that lollipop company also makes these brand of cookies?" I saw some chatter about that.
Okay. Now, do you think that the individuals who, how do I put this lightly? If you have a lollipop and you like it, right? Do you think you're going to want another one?
I mean, not only do I not have brand loyalty when it comes to hotels, I can't even remember like the last lollipop I had. A, it's been a while, and B, I don't even know what it was or what it looked like.
$80K. Bonuses are guaranteed. Lollipops probably anywhere from $2 to $4 a pop. They just keep. How do I know these things aren't laced with fentanyl?
Here's the deal, though: doctors' offices, dentists, my kids' swim school, all these places have little lollipops, though. So you're not.
I
The game
believe
isn't
these
selling
are
them one off.
novelty. I believe these
They
are
are
like
novelty.
Novelty.
Novelty is a business. Like that's a whole. That's a
So
whole
is
thing.
fentanyl.
It's very noveltyistic.
So
I don't know. There is something up with it. I mean, maybe he's blowing smoke. Maybe we're really talking about a 50 to 60K situation, but the bright lights and the camera turns on, all of a sudden you're making 80K, 100K, you're traveling around the world and you're wearing cool hats and green shoes. I don't know.
He's a handsome devil too. Good for him. Now, I'm a Gilboy through and through. I shouldn't be skeptical. I also don't like how it's a little bit of a pile on with Mutt. Mutt was his guy, is his guy. Took every chance he took. I'm over it. I'm a Gilboy. All skepticism is gone. Celtics just won. I'm off the I hate the Celtics train. Go Bruins. I'm a huge Bruins fan. They 3-3 against the Maple Leafs right now. Hopefully they finish them off. But I don't know why I said but. Yeah, we're Gilboys.
We are. To the crowd saying that Mutt, they're trying to pile on Mutt for not jumping at this. It's kind of like I said before. There's like, let's be real. Like, I want to joke around and stuff. I don't want Mutt to be the leader of the lollipop gang just as much as the next guy. There's no chance that you can take a job where you're on a plane like once a week, twice a week, like traveling around. If you have two kids like that, it's just not.
But
it's not feasible.
He did say if he got the job in Chicago, he would fly back and forth every week.
I concede. That's fair. We'll cut that. Mutt is a friend. Very, very fun episode with Mutt. There was definitely some points where I would turn to my left and he was, when he was yelling at Coleman or like going at Coleman, it was legit.
Oh yeah.
It was real. Like I was looking at his face. Now, granted, he was wearing a jockey outfit from head to toe, so it was hard to take it 100% serious, but he was getting fired up in there, dude.
I don't blame him. Coleman's a little much with that. I'm struggling with my Coleman identity. I still think I identify as one because I like the kid behind the glass, but he hates my man Mutt. He hates people with special needs who just need a little bit of attention. And I don't blame Mutt for his anger, hatred. If that's the way, I'll join him. I'm a Mutt loyalist.
Yeah, I'm sticking with being a Coleman because I am loyal, but I am more on Mutt's side during this entire back and forth.
I don't know how strong these mics are. Did you hear anything there?
Where?
Just now?
No.
I tooted.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I've never done that. So
No.
I apologize.
I haven't done it on camera. It's liberating.
Yeah, not loudly at least, but we're Gilboys. We're somewhat Coleman. One thing that I know we both are.
Say it.
That's a maniac.
Yep. That's an absolute
that's a goddamn maniac.
And the boy is back. He is back.
And I will tell you something. We are on the right side of history if you are with me. Because Al wants to take the first chance he can get to point out that Mick, who is obviously going through something, wasn't able to attend Mother's Day for the mother that said he hates Kirk Minahan. That she hates Kirk Minahan. So if that was my mother, good for Mick for even accepting the cake. I would disown her.
Not to mention she's in this secret text thread with Al talking shit about Mick. All Mick wants to do is eat a cheeseburger now and again. These guys are chatting around like little schoolgirls about it. He's leaving Mick $200 like an absolute scumbag. He's he's basically making Mick sleep with a snake for a week at a time. The guy needs to be stopped.
I'm also now with Mick. After that tweet, the $200 was a bit outrageous. It was almost like saying, I have money and you don't. Spend it. I don't give a fuck.
It took me a while to get there, but I'm there.
Well, he wouldn't even have to worry about tipping the waitress because he has enough to go around, or the pickup order. So I'm so Team Mick, and I'm so proud to be there because we're going to be on the right side of history here. He's going to come back on Tuesday with a vengeance and just conquer the world. But going back to your show, your best line, and this will transition to basketball very well, was everyone was talking about basketball, and you at one point you're like, I have been sitting here this entire time, and no one's asked me to play. Crack me up.
And the funny part about that was I actually couldn't remember if that had come up. So I was taking a chance right there. I was like, because if I say that and they're like, dude, I just asked you 2 seconds ago if you wanted to be on the team.
Dead man.
Because I did that thing with the Milton. I was like, oh, I thought I had the best idea in the world. I was like, Milton's could sponsor the jerseys. And Kirk's like, yeah, Mutt just said that fucking 30 seconds ago, asshole.
It's tough. That's tough. But dude, basketball, we got big night on Thursday.
Big night. You've been playing quite a bit.
I had just the best 15-minute sesh. My wife, I was driving home from work. She's like, hey, he's almost asleep. Don't make any noise coming in. Fucking right as I was passing by the courts. And I keep my ball in my car with me now. So I went out. I found it. So I'm
so that wasn't even a planned sesh.
That was not a planned
sesh. You got word that you had like an extra 15.
Oh,
wow.
Hey, don't make too much noise. I'll do you one better. I won't come home.
Yeah, I won't come home at all. Yeah.
I did. But I was able to hit some jumpers, so I was excited. Should be good. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this team. I think
I'm hearing good things about. It turns out Justin wasn't making that up about Ron. Ron, here's the issue though. If I was good at something and then people were talking me up, I'd be pissed because I tend to underperform. So I'd be, you know what I mean? Like if the expectations are high, I'm like, I fucking hate that.
So I put out a video thinking it would be funny, and it took traction. So now it was a great video too, spin move and slow mo. I don't know.
So I texted you about that.
Yeah. So that puts a lot of pressure on me. So I'm nervous on that regard. I think Beanbag Ron's going to be an assassin out there, absolute assassin. It went unnoticed on the show. I think it went unnoticed, but I noticed it. Kirk's like, how do you know he's good at basketball? And Justin is a professional scout. He's like, well, I reached out to somebody who coached him growing up playing basketball to find out. You are crazy.
Yeah, and they're like, when did you do that? We just announced. That's funny. I sneaky think Cinema Lord might be all right.
Me too. Because he's going to be a banger in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, he might be slowed down because the pants go all the way to the ankle.
Correct.
Other than that,
his kneecaps be protected.
That's very true.
You got to factor that in.
No, I do think he's going to be sneaky good because there was a couple things he said that made me think he was actually downplaying his ability.
Yeah.
Even
he's quiet about it.
Yeah, which is good.
A good sign. I'm vocal about it, so that's a bad sign.
That I wasn't going to say anything.
It's okay.
What are we thinking? You got anything else?
I think that's it for me. We're sniffing an hour here, John.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we will wrap this baby up. You should pound more creatine, hit the weights. Got a big day on Thursday. I believe Mick is in tomorrow. If you guys will hear this Wednesday, this should be yesterday. Now we're getting into a time warp. I'm going to wrap this up. 5.